Hello, this is John Piper with the weekend video clip, and it's Saturday the 28th of September. I'm looking here at the chart of the Dow. The initial action for this decline, we saw an all-time high there. Seen quite pretty clear, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 5. The initial move down to there counts very clearly as a 5. But the action in the last few days has been particularly unclear, suggesting it's some kind of correction. But if it's a correction and it's making new lows, which is confused as a pattern, if we take the move here, it's lasted just over 4 sessions. So this is some kind of correction, and you depends where you want to count it from. I mean, we could count it from there, perhaps say the fifth wave ended there. So an A, and then a B, and now some kind of C maybe. But because of the the difficulty in counting this move, it's not clear where we are in the process. Now, clearly that's a sharp decline there. That's opening markdown really yesterday. A very dismal sort of rally there. I mean, we have got all this sort of stuff coming out. I mean, the budget thing is now an issue in the States, obviously. And I think the issue is going to keep on coming at us until the situation is resolved. And the only way it can be resolved is by liquidation of debt, I believe, which of course is a major thing to happen. And what I'm not sure about here is whether we've already seen the correction, or whether it's going to come. It's quite a big issue clearly, because we're going to see a correction which could go up here somewhere. We don't really want to be short. On the other hand, if the decline comes in and it goes down to 14,000 or something, then we do want to be short, but we don't want to be long into a possible bounce. So the wave count is quite critical at this point. I think the best count probably is that we do have the wave 5 down to there, followed by the 3-part A wave, a B wave and a C wave, suggesting the correction ended there, very subnormal if so, followed by a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, and now of course we've got this drift, which doesn't fit in either really. But we could see maybe a new low come next week, and then perhaps some kind of rally come in. It's unsatisfactory because if we're going to see a big move, we want to be short. We are 50% short already, of course, on the Nasdaq, albeit. But that position has been in place for a while. We could do with adding to that, certainly. I think we can only watch this. Let's have a look at the S&P, so it gives any enlightenment on this. Okay, this is the hourly chart on the S&P. We saw the peak back in August. We saw the 5 waves down, which was pretty clear. We then saw this strong impulsive move up. It doesn't count quite so clearly as a 5 as it does on the Dow. And now let's expand the chart to look at the subsequent action. Okay, here's the decline we've seen since expiry week. It's clear already that we got the 1 and a 2, and then a 1, 2. Let's count 5 waves here as well. That clarifies that point really. Then a 4 and a 5. That makes it 3, and then a 4, and then a 5. Though again, we've got a clear 5 waves down to there. Then A, B, C. So that becomes a pretty clear end of wave 1. So 1 ends here, 2 ends there. The very short subnormal wave 2 is a sign of weakness. We've then got 1 down, another 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then again the 4. So this counts as a correction, but this is a third wave. It's taking its time developing, but it could still accelerate quite sharp. One alternative would be to use extreme stop. And extreme stop is a great way of entering markets. As those of you who have used it will know, obviously you don't always get great moves. Every trading approach has its winners and losers, but obviously an extreme stop below there with one way of being sure of entering the market. I mean, some huge gap opening on Monday would obviously not be good news for that kind of strategy, but you would have, of course, have the opportunity of bailing out, but it would be you need to take care, obviously, as with all trading. So it looks like we're going to see more downside here, but it's not as clear as it might be. Anyway, to summarise this, it looks like we are in the point where we could be seeing a wave 3, so we could see downside acceleration. That seems the best count from what we're looking at. I guess the major alternative is that this is just a corrective move. That we may have seen a fairly sharp A wave, but until we see some more downside that it could just be an ABC. So look at FTSE now. FTSE is a bit clearer. We saw the secondary peak come in at 6660. We're seeing a pretty clear 5 waves down here. The third wave is a bit shorter than I'd like. Then see a 2 wave here. Again, that's fairly clear. It looks like an irregular actually. Followed by a 1 ABC2 and a more determined 3 here. This actually could be the third of a third on FTSE, so it's a different count from the Dow. So again, there's a potential here for a fairly sharp move down, and that seems to be the best count. But again, of course, at this point it could be an ABC, and the third wave is less fast than the first wave, which is a bit of a negative. But we want to be short here. It's just a question of waiting for the right opportunity that gets us in, really. And the somewhat confused action we're seeing. The difficulty in actually pinpointing the corrective move, especially on the Dow, makes the entry quite difficult. But again, extreme stop. I think I did suggest extreme stop below one of these levels here. If you went there, then there would have been a 40-50 point bounce back, but came good in the end. So that's that for the time being. The second part of the technical trader is still due for September. I'm really waiting for some kind of clarity here, which we're not really seeing at the moment. But I think it will come quite soon. Well, gold is just going sideways now. I'm sorry, this is daily chart of gold. Got this ABC up, A and C roughly equal. Got a fairly sharp decline, which could be a 5. So maybe we're going to see a 1, 2, maybe another bounce up, and then further downside. But there's really, at this point in time, gold isn't terribly interesting. Well, pound dollar is retesting that upper trend, lower trend line of the big triangle I showed you the chart, the last video clip. So it's not impossible we're going to see new highs here. Could be some kind of 5th wave, perhaps. Actually, let me show you the chart. It's quite an important level, really. But the selling spike here is being eaten up, eating its tail, as it's known. So let's have a look at the longer-term chart. Okay, so depending on how you draw the chart, it's between the trend line. That trend line is between 1620 and 1625. So pretty close to current level. Another cent might do it. A break back within the triangle, which is sustained, would negate the whole count. So it needs to happen. But right now, the wave count remains valid. It's a retest of the line, and just need to see how that goes. That's all for today. If you find that interesting and useful, I'll be back with the report on Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend. It's pouring with rain here in Phuket. In fact, it's been raining ever since I got to Thailand. It's been raining this time, and also in Singapore. So I gather I'm sure the weather's like in the UK. I know it's still sun still shining in Spain though. Anyway, thanks again, and bye for now.